Welcome back to SwitchCorner, my name is Alex and today we're going to be taking a look at the Company Man on the Nintendo Switch, a platformer with a real life office setting. Is it going to be worth your time, or does this one miss with its attempt at the satirical? Well, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we will do here, join our growing family and let's get started. So story, and you take on the role of average salaryman Jim. You've started a new job and quickly found enemies within this new environment. On day one though, things kind of go from like bad to worse. Your nerves, they're not only getting the best of you, but then you're demoted down to customer service. Your aim, become a CEO of the company by tackling a number of departments internally to overcome the leaders of these areas and get the needed pay raise. The jokes, though they land honestly, as someone that spent years of his career in an office environment, it's spot on with some of its almost surreal takes on these departments. The customer service, who basically everyone is fiery, the accountants who live in an ice world, freezing assets, marketing who attack with a whole lot of paper. Its ideas are very simple, but it definitely reminded me of the movie Office Space for anyone that's seen it. As you progress then as well, expect to dive into Jim's background for kind of like these smaller moments. It establishes where the motivation to become a CEO comes from and whether it's maybe not the most healthy of choices. So gameplay on what we have here is a relatively traditional platformer at its core. Platform on a 2D plane, face enemies and leverage the environment and a growing arsenal of weapons to your advantage. It keeps controls simple with movement, dash, jump, melee attack and then also ranged attacks. It also allows you to rotate that ranged attack weapon with the triggers. The platforming though, it's incredibly well balanced and tight. It's always responsive, and any failure you'll only have yourself to blame rather than the game itself. Throughout this world as well, it's smart with its enemy design but also in its level design. Many moments appeared in this one which were almost think puzzle platformer, as you had to figure out how to advance next. Some of the enemies you'll face though, expect them to tower over you, asking you to dodge them before you go in for that offensive attack. Some small and nimble, others are completely just like traps. It's got this smart setup that means you'll always need to work out the right way to respond, and it's not simply gonna be just, button mashing. Along the way then as well, when it comes to progress, it packs checkpoints thanks to what are coffee machines. Grab a cup and you'll save your progress, while also restoring the health bar in the top left of the screen. This health bar then is also accompanied by an energy meter. This is going to be rebuilt by attacking foes or slowly over time. It's basically used for any ranged attacks that you may leverage. These 7 contained levels then, or departments, they are rounded out with boss moments, and it's again really well designed, as they often take many of the mechanics we've seen throughout that department and combine them into an overwhelming attack scheme. They are difficult but never impossible, and they'll often require strategy to take down. Outside of that then, the only other element, it's really the upgrades for Jim. Between levels, you head to the lobby area. Here you'll receive a guest pass for that next floor in the tower, but also you'll get access to a coffee shop. Now, throughout the levels you'll be collecting up coin, and this can actually be spent here. So think things like increasing your health bar, maybe increasing your energy, the ability to deflect melee attacks and so on. It adds just enough flexibility that you can shape Jim here to your preferred playstyle. For me, I went defensive, more health, more energy, and I could exercise some patience before kind of going on the offensive. Issues wise with the game though, occasionally I will say a few of the challenges, they weren't quite responsive enough. Unfortunately, they have these tests to check out your new skills that were a little bit awkward at times. Also then, it's not a long game, 7 levels, it took me around 3 hours, but I'm seeing runs on YouTube under 2 hours. I actually believe this one it dropped already on Steam. That said though, it's a platformer, not a genre known for epic runtimes. It definitely also tries to at least extend that runtime with a few add-ons, but also asking you just to simply experiment with its different setups for Jim. On top of that then, on completion the first time, you do unlock impossible mode, and then there's even secret challenges to uncover as well. Overall though, the gameplay, I really enjoyed it. The simple story gave me motivation that was definitely relatable. The game constantly throws these one-liners from Jim at you that elevates kind of the areas you are in, and then finally the controls, they were absolutely tight. Graphics then, and I'm impressed. I believe this is the studio's first game. They go by Forest and they are out of Malaysia, and the graphics, you'd never guess this was like game one for them. They are just really well done, as are the animations with this clean cartoon-like style. It almost gave me vibes of something you might see from the team behind Spiritfarer. Jim is animated to a high level though, as are each of the enemies. Each office floor then is unique, and naturally yes, the enemies, they do repeat attacks, so you can learn that counter, but there's enough variety in them that you'll never get bored of seeing them. I think my only complaint, really, the main menu, it's kind of a little bit weak, honestly. I think they could have done more with it. That said though, look, outside of that, no complaints from me. From the flashy attacks to the digs at office life, I think it absolutely achieves what it set out to. Audio finally, and it's relatively simplistic. That's fine though, the music, it is catchy, while also remembering we'll have fun with the levels, but just occasionally let's play some like awful elevator music for the masked load screens. It makes sense though to the world, it adds to kind of that sense of humour, and then yeah, there's even the odd moment of catchy in here as well. There's no voice acting unfortunately, but weapons and attacks, they all come with a nice level of weight as well. So the final verdicts and the company, man, it's a nice surprise this one. I wasn't sure of what to expect going in. A platformer, working your way through a company, it doesn't exactly, let's face it, sound thrilling. But where it excels, it's leveraging that environment many of us know and turning it into something evil and cartoonish that is still very much relatable. There were moments here though when ice was dropping from the ceiling, piles of cash were in the background, and enemies, they were, you know, freezing assets, and I was like, do you know what? I know someone that could absolutely be this awful. That's what makes it fun though. There's few platformers out there that set out to be relatable to an audience. Rather, they typically target the fun, the colourful, minimal story, but in return for escapism. This one though, the jokes, the one-liners, the small moments of character exploration, it really comes together in what is an effective way, and yeah, it absolutely exceeded expectations. It is short though, which may put some people off, and it can even be pretty challenging at points, but do experiment with the difficulty options. You should be fine. You should find something that should, you know, match your playstyle. All of that as well. Still curious? Check out the demo on the eShop that is available right now. It should give you a good idea of the humour packed in here and whether it will absolutely resonate with you. A good 7 out of 10 from me though. I had fun with it, it felt challenging in the right way, but it's definitely got a few minor issues, and that runtime, can't help but think here a discount on that price point, it would go a long way. Gotta say though again, I do appreciate the creativity here and the focus on a 9 to 5 day job, it really does work well. Will you be adding this one to the library then, or are you holding onto that cash? A shout out then to the patrons of the channel who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch, as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.